Friday the 9th of August. I haven't looked at some of these colonies for quite a long time, so I thought I'd have a quick look. It's a hot day, in the middle 20s at the moment, and they look as though they're flying okay. There's a couple that are flying from the other side. Yeah. So I think I best get kitted up and open them up and see what they're like. I also hope to look in this hive and that one that's disappearing under the vegetation over there, and then there's one more over there I want to look at too. This was a swarm colony, so it was left to see if it would make any honey. Looks as though it's made some honey. Central frames there have got honey in. Outside ones don't look as though they have. But there's some there, and maybe that's a top box. It's got two supers on it. Similar down in the bottom box. Outside frames look as though they're totally empty, with quite a lot of nice honey in the middle by the looks of things. And frames that don't fit very well. There's a lot of race comb there that so I'm going to have to scrape off. That's a bit annoying. These bees have blocked their entrance up, so they don't want a hole in their crown board. They want it sealed. They weren't particularly pleased to see me going in there when they got honey on, but I've taken some very nice honey off. Some lovely frames here, fully capped. Another one there, and quite a few frames in there too. So I thought, having one's gone in there and they're not very pleased, I might as well do the deed and take the honey off them. No, that's slowing me down a bit because I wasn't really intending to do that. I was really going to have a quick look. I did have a quick look at the brood. I wanted to see if they got ball brood, which they did have. So that's another, I'm going to be surveying all my colonies for ball brood. So that one has it. Anyway, now I've got to sort this honey out. Find an empty box and get it sorted. Well, this colony was not a swarm. It's a queen that was bred here from an introduced frame of eggs and brood. In fact, I think we had to do it more than once to get a laying queen. But last time I checked, it had a laying queen. It's got two supers on. Probably doesn't have. It wasn't as established as that one, as early as that one. Anyway, it's much later. So we'll see what it's like. All right. Well, this colony didn't need two supers on. I've taken one off, and I've left one on. There's some honey in it, but nothing like in this box. And there's quite a lot of capped brood, so there's plenty of bees yet to populate this colony. So who knows, maybe in 2 weeks' time they'll make some ivy honey. Anyway, one box left on, half full I suppose, maybe third full with honey. Plenty of room left for them to make some more. A touch of ball brood, yeah, they had some ball brood in their brood frame, so that's number 2. This is the oldest swarm in the apiary, and it's got 3 supers on. I'm just going to have a look in the top super just to see that it's still got space. So I'm not going to go right down into the brood box today, I don't think. Just have a look in the top super and see that it's not actually running out of space. 1, 2, 3 frames I've taken out of this top box. Bees hardly murmured. Didn't make any difference to them what I was doing. So that's that's quite encouraging. I put 3 empty frames in. They may well stay empty, although it's going to be a hot week forecast for next week. I'm not sure there's that much left out there for them to make honey from. There's no balsam around here that I don't think. If there was, they'd make honey from that. But the wildflowers are beginning to fade. The rosebud willow herb has only got a bit of flower at the top of the stem now. The ivy doesn't start for another week, maybe, or 2 weeks. So it's they're going to be scratching around, I think, to fill up those frames. Right, this colony's got 3 supers on, but I don't think there was much in the top super the last time I looked at it. These are the ones that superseded early in the year, so they're not a swarm. They're the only ones that are being sort of left alone as a colony. I say left alone, they were not totally left alone because I stole quite a few frames of brood from them, so it's not fair to compare them really. They've got some nice frames of capped honey in the second box in the middle. So I'm going to take some of those, maybe 4, maybe 5, and put empty frames back in their place. I'm going to leave the box at the bottom for the time being. Well, that's a few frames of honey taken out of that one. They didn't make a fuss. But then, of course, I wasn't ripping the supers right off down to the brood box. Maybe that's what caused the others to get so agitated. They didn't like that at all. So maybe the thing to do is to just carefully take a few frames out at a time. It doesn't seem to disturb them too much. And of course we're not going down into the brood box, so that doesn't disturb them. Anyway, on to the next one. Thought I'd have a quick look at in the top of this box while I'm here, but there's nothing going on. They're cleaning out the frames. Haven't really put any honey in. I haven't used it to lay in, so it's ready and waiting really for me to start feeding. Then they'll fill it with some food, I guess. Right, this box had a swarm move in fairly early on in the year. So let's have a look at it. Well, I may be able to take 4 frames out of the middle here. It's not made honey right to the outside. So I'll take 4 out and see what they're like. 6 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 7 frames. 7 frames of well-capped honey would come out of that swarm hive. So that's not too bad. So they came from the top box. There's still another box on there with honey in. And of course there's still a bit of time to go before we get to the autumn, so they could make some ivy honey too. But they were not too bad. Again, I didn't rip all the boxes apart, so I think that does make a difference. Just taking a few frames out of the top doesn't disturb them too much. Right, I think this is the last colony I'm going to look at today. This is the colony that came through the window as a very, very small colony. I think it's my last colony of black bees, actually. I think most of my black bees are left here, but these ones, I think, are the last ones. So they've only got 1 super on, but I've got some spare frames there, then I'll just switch in if there's some honey in them. I'm not going to take any out of this box. They made a bit, but not enough for me to take any, so they can have that. and hopefully they can make some more before the winter comes. No doubt I'll be feeding these bees as well to get them through the winter. So I only looked at 3 hives here in the end. I think the first one I looked at, the one at far end there, the amount of honey in it kind of threw me a bit. I don't think I was expecting that particular hive to be doing so well. It put me off my stroke. Polyboxes are going to need feeding soon, so I think that's the next stage for them, is to get feed on, get them storing away food in the top boxes. Got to do something with these bees. Don't really want the swarm to stay in this polybox. Not quite sure what to do with them yet. Well, their spare equipment did quite well this year. Attracted quite a few swarms into it. Whether they were mine or somebody else's is hard to ascertain. I'm pretty sure they're somebody else's. Right, well, until next week.